A big hindrance as to why some people struggle to get ahead and get theirs is their self-esteem is just horrendous. And I, I was actually talking to someone today in a session that we were having about how important it is to have your own internal cheerleading squad. There's nothing more important in this life than keeping your energy up and having the belief and the ability to get yourself psyched every minute of every hour of every day. That ability takes time to cultivate, and it's a habit that you need to practice. But once you get it, I promise you, the rest of the world will sail by, and the issues that you think are otherwise issues will become completely irrelevant in the face of you moving forward and getting yours. My name is Munesi, and you're watching Get Yours. So let's talk about self-esteem. All right, this is a crazy topic that most people are, there's so much literature and stuff that has been talked about self-esteem, but I want to speak about it from my own perspective. Last night at a function that I was attending on Women's Day, by the way, happy International Women's Day to all the fantastic, amazing women out there. You guys are the reason why there is a world to begin with. All of us are the product of women. So happy Women's Day to everybody. But at this function yesterday, one speaker mentioned something that I found very insightful, and that is everybody needs confidence. Okay? Everybody, the one thing that you can give someone is the ability to be confident. And confidence is closely linked to self-esteem. I've spoken about confidence before and some of the tips that you can use to develop your own confidence. But self-esteem, that feeling that you are worth something, that you are valuable, is super crucial, because without that, people end up degenerating into situations where they look for validation and they look for value in other things. People go into drug abuse, people go into alcohol abuse, people become abusive for no apparent reason. And you're doing that to compensate on a lack of something that is inherent that you can find within yourself. Okay? Knowing that you are a unique individual is the first step in cultivating your self-esteem. You need to know that your self-worth is not dependent on anybody else or any comparison or any situation that is outside of who you are. You are not put on this earth for sport. You are not put on this earth as a mistake. You are a unique individual. I keep making this statement whenever people tell me, oh, but you know, so-and-so is doing so well. Why can't I be like them? Why can't I be like this person? And we tend to compare ourselves to other people in our space. There's plus minus 7.5 to 8 billion of us on this planet. Do you believe that you are just a statistic? If you're comfortable being just a stat, just an ID number or a phone number or a whatever number it is, then that's your problem. My encouragement to you is that you're more than just a statistic, all right? You are a unique individual who has, if I can get a little bit graphic, sperm and ova came and created you, okay? It didn't just, you did, and for 9 months of your existence in the womb, you didn't just, there was no interruption or anything like that, and the universe has allowed you to pass through your mother's womb and out into the world and become this unique individual who, I assure you, has a purpose. And the second thing is identifying your purpose. We've spoken about quieting the noise, making sure that you take the time to look inward. We're so distracted with things, deadlines, what. Forget about these distractions. Look at yourself. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What am I strong at? What do I have the abilities and talents for? And can I use these talents and these abilities to fulfill whatever I believe the universe has put me on this earth for? Okay? And if you can stop worrying about what's happening with the rest of the people out there and focus on yourself, you will realize that you are uniquely special and uniquely built to fulfill something in this life. You're not just a statistic. So number one, you are unique, and number two, you have a purpose. And that purpose can only be found if you look inward and if you take the time to put aside the distractions and look at yourself. The third thing, and for me, which is the most crucial, is this need that we have to compare ourselves to other people. Now, humanity is one that looks at ourselves relative to our environment. But as soon as you get into this really destructive habit of comparing yourself to someone else, it becomes a competitive, self-depreciating activity, which is not, unless you're doing it for inspiration, and it takes practice and time to compare yourself so that you can use it for inspiration, as opposed to looking at others, at what others are doing, and then looking at yourself and thinking, you know what, I'm not really worth anything because so-and-so is doing whatever I'm doing better, more efficiently, with much more purpose and value than what I'm doing. Forget about comparing yourself to other people. Imagine if an orange seed and an apple seed were put here on a table in front of us, and each of them was put in soil, and then they started growing in their own individual ways. The apple and the orange are not going to, sprout in the same way. Let's even add a pineapple or a banana for that matter. Each of these plants and fruits grow in their own unique way. So as soon as a banana starts to compare itself to a pineapple or an apple or an orange and starts to say, you know what, why can't I grow like that? How come this one's leaves are growing better than my leaves? And you start to look at yourself as being worthless. It's a pointless activity. If you're going to be an apple, be the best damn apple that you can be. If you're an orange, be the absolute best orange that you can be. Your job in life is to fulfill your purpose and your dream. Forget about everything else. The noise is always going to be there. People are always going to some people are always going to be doing better than you. That's a fact. People are going to be doing less better than you. That's also a fact. Ignore all of that. Do you, all right? Concentrate on being the best version of you that you can, and that way you'll realize that even why I'm spending a bit of time on this is because, like, in our families, especially, let's say, in our relationships, we tend to look at our relationships and our careers and our lives in comparison to the careers and relationships of other people. Okay, and then what happens is a toxic situation comes up where even our partners, the people who are supposed to be supporting us, our wives, our husbands, whoever it is, our family members, our siblings, whoever is in our space, they start to take that comparison that we ourselves allow and start comparing us to other people. Why can't you be like so-and-so? Why can't you do something like, this person? I hear so-and-so went and bought this. I hear this other person went and got this job. I hear this and I hear that, and they make it in reference to you. All right? Do not allow that. Do not allow comparisons to be made about yourself to other people. It is self-destructing, it is toxic, and it becomes a yardstick to put yourself down as opposed to making yourself rise and move forward, okay? If you can look around you and gain inspiration, you see, you cannot gain inspiration unless you've already discovered what your purpose is. Once you've accepted that you are unique, once you accept that you have a purpose, and once you accept that whatever the world is doing, forget them, then it becomes easy to now look at your own purpose and say, okay, you know what? This is the destination that I want to get myself to. This is the path that I seek for myself. And guys, I want you to remember this word. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to look at your purpose, your plan for your life, and be ruthlessly selfish at achieving that goal. Again, I remind you, there are 8 billion of us on this planet. And people, whoever wants to come into your journey and be part of your journey will come into your journey by virtue of them being part of your journey. It's the same way that soil, water, sunlight, fertilizer, all of these things come together to make sure that a plant grows and becomes a tree. But people as well will come in and input and add value into your life if they are supposed to add value. There are going to be some people who are going to be like birds and they're going to pick the seeds before they germinate. There are going to be some people who are going to be weeds. There are going to be some people who are going to be complete pests and not allow you to grow. You need to just remove and make sure that you're consciously aware that your job is to grow. Surround yourself with the right inputs and forget about the noise, forget about comparing yourself, and you'll see that your self-esteem is going to be at a much higher level than if you were to practice some of these toxic things. All right, I'm open to discussing these things with you. It's matters that come up in every coaching session and training session that we've been having over the last couple of months. Keep sharing, keep subscribing. Remember, all I want you to do is get yours.